Hello, 8th graders. You have made a great choice watching this video. I'm going to walk you through some of the hints and give you guys some hints and talk to you guys about some of the content so you guys can understand a little bit better what kind of questions you are answering on each of these clues. So this is your matter escape room. Your first clue looks like this. So you guys can watch this video over here on matter if you don't know what matter is, or if you guys are confused or having a hard time identifying. It says watch the video on matter on the left. Listed below is a list of things that are considered matter and things that are not considered matter. Use your draw tool and put an X next to each of the things that you know are matter. Once you guys are done with that, I want you to sit back and take a look. This clue will help you guys solve the 5 color-coded lock. Okay, so that's your first one. Okay, this is your next clue, and you guys are going to take and sort these images into these 5 columns: pure elements, pure molecules, mixture of elements, mixture of molecules, and mixture of elements and molecules. Okay, I'm going to talk about what those are in a second. Okay, once you guys have sorted those, you guys are going to cross out the column that has the least number of pictures. That is going to be your 4-digit code. So let's talk really quick about what pure elements, pure molecules, mixture of elements, mixture of molecules, and mixture of elements and molecules is. Okay, so an atom or an element, okay, is what you guys see on the periodic table. We know that atoms are the smallest building block of all matter. Okay, and we know that there are at least 118 different types of atoms. Those are elements, so there's going to be 118 different types. So gold is a different atom than hydrogen. Hydrogen's a different atom than carbon. Okay, so what I listed here would be, this is gold, phosphorus, sulfur, krypton, neon, iron. Those are all elements that we see on the periodic table, and therefore all different types of atoms. Okay, so when we go back to our escape room, when we talk about pure elements, those would only consist of one type of atom. Okay, so pure gold would be nothing but gold atoms. Okay. Mixture of elements, you guys would have multiple different types of atoms, so maybe gold and silver together. Okay, that would be a mixture of elements. Okay, next one I'm going to talk about is molecules and compounds. So molecules and compounds are very simple. Okay, basically both are 2 or more atoms that come together to form bonds. So they can either be the same type of atom or they can be different types of atoms. So molecules can be the same type of element or different types. So every compound is a molecule, but not every molecule is a compound. A compound has to have different types of atoms. So we're going to call them both in the same. You guys don't need to know the difference between those, so molecules and compounds. So these below are all 2 or more atoms. So hydrogen and oxygen form water. So there's 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. That would be a molecule or a compound. Okay, this would strictly be a molecule, but notice that there's a 2 after. That means there's 2 atoms of oxygen that come together. This is hydrochloric acid. 1 atom of hydrogen, 1 atom of chlorine form this molecule. This is glucose, 6 atoms of carbon, 12 of hydrogen, and 6 of oxygen. And then this one would just be a compound because it's just made of hydrogen atoms, but there are 2 of them. Okay, so when we talk about this one, when we look at pure molecules, we're going to have all the same type of molecules. So if we had water, we would have nothing but water molecules. Okay, mixture of molecules would be multiple different types of molecules. So if we threw some salt in that water, now we have salt molecules and we have water molecules. So that would be a mixture of molecules. And then finally, a mixture of elements and molecules would have obviously different types of molecules as well as different types of atoms. Okay, so again, you guys will sort those into the correct column. Once you guys get them all sorted, you're going to eliminate the column with the least amount of pictures in it or the little blocks in it. And then you guys will use that to do the 4-digit code for this. Okay, moving on, we're going to talk about physical and chemical properties. Okay, physical properties can be observed without changing the chemical makeup of an element or a molecule. So for instance, the physical properties of gold are that they are malleable, meaning you guys can take and bite gold and you can leave your teeth print. It's easy to reshape. It's ductile, meaning we can stretch it into a wire really easy. That kind of goes hand in hand with malleable. It's obviously golden in color. Has a hardness of 2.5 to 3, which is really, really soft actually. Okay, melts at 1064 degrees Celsius, so melting point would be a physical property. And then it's solid at room temperature. So when we talk about phase of matter, solid, liquid, or gas, this one's solid at room temperature. Okay, chemical properties can only be observed if the chemical compound has changed. So you won't have the same compound anymore. So for instance, potassium, if I take and they throw potassium into water, okay, it actually explodes and starts on fire when we start it with water. So a chemical property would be that it's highly reactive with water. It burns purple when on fire, so when you throw it in water, it actually starts on fire because it gives off a lot of energy, and that flame is purple in color. And then it also is highly reactive with oxygen or air, so it's super soft. We can cut it in half, but if we let it sit out in the air, it kind of oxidizes or rusts really easy. Okay, so those are chemical properties. Again, when that happens, though, we no longer have plain potassium. It's now something different like potassium hydroxide. Okay, so those are physical and chemical properties. I'm also going to talk about chemical versus physical change. Physical change is just a different display of properties, but the chemical composition of the substance is still the same. So if we take a cup of water and we freeze it, okay, it's still water, but it's going to kind of look a little bit differently. Okay, chemical change though is when we actually rearrange atoms to form something new that's going to have completely different properties. So if you guys have ever mixed vinegar and baking soda, this is the reaction below. We can see we take our baking soda and our vinegar and we rearrange all those molecules to form sodium acetate, water, and carbon dioxide. So when your little volcano has all the fizz and the bubbles, that's from the carbon dioxide forming. Okay, so when we look at this clue right here, this clue is going to be your letter combo lock. And so what you guys are going to do is you're going to correctly match the chemical or physical property to the definition. The red and the blue ones are going to go together, and then the green and the orange ones go together. Notice that there is all these highlighted letters. Once you guys have them correctly matched, you guys will be able to read a question using those highlighted letters, and then you will answer the question, and that will be the lock combination. Okay, last but not least, you guys will use the periodic table for this, and you guys will also need this little guy right here. Okay, this little hydrogen atom from the periodic table is going to be your guys' hint as to how to use this. Okay, you guys can Google some of these if you need, but I feel like most of them should be knowledge to you guys or be able to get from your periodic table. There's a link right here. You guys would tell me the element. So for instance, element found in milk would be calcium. The symbol is Ca. The atomic number is 20. And then you guys would use that atomic number and this to figure out what letter. Okay, this is going to give you guys the keyed lock. Okay, so you guys are going to figure out what you need to do to get the key for the keyed lock. Okay, that's going to conclude your guys' escape room for today. And because you guys watched this video, if you guys also know, there's a secret hidden combination to your 3-digit lock in here. Good luck. I hope you guys are having a great day.